Hello again, and welcome to the part 2 of my video about madness in the Western world and introduction to possible solution. About our resistance. We almost have none, at least nothing meaningful, nothing that will change anything for better. I will try to summarize our entire fight back, which is mostly based on actions performed on the internet. Every attempt of organizing anything visible in the real world might end up with police intervention or ignorance in media. If it's too late to ignore, it's being boycotted by the media. They will name us haters, racists, Nazis, bigots, or use any other form of discrimination, which mute us in our real life about serious issues which should be presented to public. On the internet we have an entire army of trolls and haters, conspiracy theorists. That's how they see our activity online. We have no major independent internet infrastructure. Every means to oppose them, troll them, exists only because they created platforms where we may do that. They control those platforms, and they might censorship almost everything anytime they wish. We are opposing their official agenda. We speak the truth in place where it holds no real threat for them. They see us as rebellious, harmless jokers who whine and cry about how everything sucks and how we're heading to nowhere. People who are passive enough to sit at home in front of a computer and brave enough to express the true thoughts as a pseudo-anonymous commentators on internet. But even that is way too much for them. When we're becoming too annoying, too loud in trolling our masters, they make our life more miserable by introducing new internet restrictions, censorship forced on us by our puppet governments, politicians of our own countries. And we also have celebrities, big popular YouTube talkers. All of them, even if helpful, won't change anything on a long run. No exception. They deliver bad news, make their own commentaries, useless interviews, presentations. Everything they do is based on bad news, explaining how bad things are, how crazy, insane, and then talking about all possible options of how things should be. But none offer any real solution how to achieve that. Nobody tells. Well, some try, but it's just an empty talking without possibility to work. Half of them doing this for money. So they talk about same repetitive subjects all the time, mostly about how feminism is a cancer or how social justice warriors are retarded. Well, until they do that in a funny way, it drags people's attention, so it's okay, I guess. Others, because they truly care. They care about our future, about what is really going on in our system. And they want to help, to expose. They just don't know what else they can do, believing that maybe they wake up enough people to side of sanity one day and to mobilize them to do something more in the future. I did my own research with the rate of how fast they're waking up people. That is 250,000, 700,000 per 10 years. We will end up with enough people after maybe 150 years. Maybe. Those are statistics from most popular Red Pill channel on YouTube, which are active for over 10 years and which has such number of subscribers. And when there is some hero claiming he has 2 million views, but the number of subscribers is around 760,000, why he asking at the end of his video to give a like, subscribe, support if you agree with him. And most of videos ending up with 20, 80,000 likes. Is that so hard for the public who agrees with you, who even subscribe it, to do what you say and give you a like under the video, to help spread the video popularity? Well, I'm sorry, but it appears that for those 1,400,000 people, red pilling clearly didn't work. Nor they care about spreading the message. If people agree with you, they even create an account if they must to. They subscribe just to make the community larger, to create something bigger around something what is good, something they agree on. But well, it clearly isn't working this way in reality. We have huge troubles with organization. Most of our supporters are passive. We are completely disorganized. There is no structure, no leader, no plan, no unity among right-minded people. And this prevents us from mobilizing people into proper actions on some larger scale. Instead of helping each other, supporting, there is only few who do that. Others look at everybody else around, hoping that they will do it for them. If we are to be united in action, everybody must do what he can to support what's right. If someone asks you to give a like, and you agree with the message, just give him a like. Does it cost so much to do that? Being passive is weakening our side. If you can, just do. Try to help. Music channels, music videos, some silly movie review channels have few million subscribers and few million views under most of their videos. And some people believes we may gain enough power in any European country in democratic way without proper support from the media. Most of people have no time to do research, nor they care enough. And there is also a group of people among those internet hackers who are a truly controlled opposition. They are pseudo-exposing things, mostly some far meaningless conspiracy theories, but they exist to sabotage. And there is no doubt about it. Based on what they say and do, they use manipulation to confuse people, spread disinformation, possibly to turn red-pilled people against each other when it will be needed. Also, majority of people who are truly on our side, those talkers and viewers, they are afraid, being cowardly. There are red lines which they won't cross in what they do or say. Otherwise, they exposing themselves on too much of a risk. Yes, they afraid for a reason. They got too much to lose. You shouldn't be telling people how much situation sucks, and then when it comes to name the true reason of our problems, you hesitate. You backing off, looking at people what they will do about it, while you're not giving any example. Sure, there are true fighters, leaders. Some of them are, but only few. And they're not really so popular. So yes, people are waking up, but the rate is way too low. Everything is going too slow to have any significant effect on your country or any elections. You can't even discuss things, at work, or you might lose your job. They might start looking at you as a weirdo, as a Nazi, or some other freak. For them, it's you who is wrong, not them. They think they know better, that they the good people who care about feelings, who are full of compassion, while you are the cold, ignorant, evil bastard, a bigot. That's how the normal people see you. They don't know the truth, and they don't want to hear about it. For them, what you hear on internet is a conspiracy theory. It's a lie, a fairy tale. some empty brainwashing propaganda. It's not something official, not something they see or hear about in real world. So it cannot be real in their logic. Especially older people are like that. It's just sad. For them, the red-pilled person is a brainwashed person. And it's very difficult to explain or convince someone to something what they don't want to hear about. They won't listen if they do not want to. And they will not want to. They don't want to be seen as one of you by the public. They don't want to risk losing their reputation or job, which might be comfy and pleasurable for them at the moment. Right here, right now, because they live far away from bad things, or they've been not exposed at such, by being lucky. And that's all what matters to them. To wake up, they will need a direct kick at their wallet or their butt by the brutal reality. But this will happen when it will be already too late to fix anything. Majority of the Western people are empty nowadays, morally broken, very irresponsible. They live by a moment. They don't want to worry about far future. And even if you somehow start a deep conversation with such normal person, you will reach a moment when this person will admit that, well, I can't do anything to change that. I have no power, so why should I worry? You get my point here. About leaking secret mails, documents, activity of hackers who are supporting our site by publishing informations which should never be available for public. It has no real impact, even if announced in public news. Majority of people don't pay attention, have no time for research, and they forget fast. I mean, look at Hillary. So many scandals, so huge incompetence, and she still almost won the elections. It's unbelievable. Because of all this, what is happening daily around us, there are also people who hold no hope about our situation. Not only because of failing world economy or possible World War III outbreak, but because of how hopeless things appear to be. Nobody offers any solution, nothing worth to fight for, except yourself, or living for yourself. Use the system for your profit and comfort until it lasts. Philosophy of people who are like, I don't care anymore. Whatever I do or try, no matter how many times, it all goes for nothing at the end. So why should I care? I want to have some fun and pleasure from life. Until it's possible. Until I'm alive. Yes, they are getting tired of it. So they decide to quit. We got people who are preparing for the worst. So-called preppers. Well, no wonder. It's reasonable to do so at our times. To prepare for the collapse. We got men go their own way, who turning their back on marriage, family, because of how messed up law regulations our women are mostly nowadays. I understand them. I cannot tell them straight that they do wrong, because actual situation is wrong. Majority of women are lost and they don't even realize how lost they are. And even if you're lucky, you discover true love, a good traditional woman, creating family, having children, from a rational point of view, is very irresponsible, very risky, because you bringing new life to the world, where you can't even secure future for those children. You will bring new life to the world just so they can face suffering and probably death in your future. That's how it looks like. from purely rational point of view. Based on our current world situation, chances for peaceful future, prosperity at our times are very, very low. So how can a responsible person create a family nowadays being unable to secure a future for the children? Starvation, war, all of this will come with time in the near future. A worst disaster in known human history. The collapse of civilization. So, how can a responsible person think about creating family nowadays if we are to face such thing in the near future? Well, but one more thing to the guys from the movement. Having a child from synthetic womb is a joke, right? I'm not saying it won't be possible, but healthy biological family, every child needs a mother and a father, not a single dad or a single mom. For proper child development, baby needs both parents. There's no question about it. Because of how bad everything is, how everything looks like. Some of us want to see the world burn. They want to see the collapse and celebrate. But even if it will happen, it's just a regular people who will suffer and pay the price, while the elites responsible for it will just wait it off in their comfortable, cozy shelters far away from the hell in Europe or North America which they created. In matter of fact, hell all over the globe. We cannot allow for this. They must take responsibility and pay for it. There is many people in despair out there asking for a solution. I'm here to provide one, so please stay with me. More about actions in real world. Forming movements which aim into national politics with the voice of the reason won't work. Why? From same reasons which I mentioned before. Your movement will be labeled by overwhelming media as Nazi, racist, Islamophobic, hateful, you name it. The point is, majority of people will not support people marked as radicals. And it does not matter what your claims are. At the end, you will be demonized, discriminated, isolated, pacified by police if they will decide to use it. And barely anybody from majority of citizens will stand on your defense. Until majority won't be hit directly at their personal wallet by a result of financial, economic situation of your country, or something what will directly threaten their personal safety, they won't stand with you. Most of public people, politicians, journalists, will be saying that you and your movement are dangerous, and most of people will believe this. Most of people will believe them. It won't matter what your claims are. It won't matter what you stand for. They are louder than you. They are the officials. We've been told to punch the Nazi. So it's okay if police deals with any true opposition to official puppet governance by force. After all, official governance is all about freedom, respect to all, love, feelings. So they must be the good guys, right? And those on the streets are the one who want to attack and replace the good guys with some aggressive, not nice agenda. That's how it is, and things will remain this way until we won't change our strategy. Even if we won't do anything wrong, nothing aggressive, Media will picture us as the bad guys, troublemakers, fascists. Any form of opposition which will want any true changes in the country for better will be labeled with any discriminating title from those mentioned before. It's all about control of the media. Media might easily discriminate people on internet and in the real world. Any smaller size movements in the real world. And I already said before, what will happen if your movement will be too big to discriminate? They will deal with you by force if they must to, and you won't win. Protesting? Useless. Same effect. You will be discriminated, ignored, or muted. End of story. Democratic takeover won't happen. Nowhere until certain conditions are fulfilled. This is especially dedicated to Mr. Pat. If someone believes that anyone with the voice of the reason might gain true power in the national government without support of the media or proper funding, or politicians who are already in power, or those behind the curtain, is delusional. They won't allow you to win the elections, and there is many undemocratic ways to do that. If someone will claim Trump won, while all the media were against him, it's not really true. By attacking Trump, giving him the anti-establishment political label, accusing of the worst, and in the same time clearing up his image a moment later, contradicting agenda from one news to another, from one TV station to other, the image of Donald Trump was shaped to be an rebel anti-system player who wants the best for America, in cost of some hated already Middle Eastern Muslims and illegals from the South. This is what the regular Americans see in Donald Trump. Media which will want to disqualify Trump because he's not one of those from the establishment would do it differently. But they shaped the image of Trump with a very little sacrifice. Fox News, CNN, and some other stations. Yes, they paid some price for being exposed. But nobody questioned the fact that around the time of the US elections, those stations which attacked Trump the most were also the ones who were publicly exposed the most by very weird coincidence as a fake news, which Trump claimed them to be. So how majority of people will understand such situation? There was a stereotype among US citizens long before US elections, saying that media lie all the time, and also notice that Trump accusing only certain stations of being the fake news, while in matter of fact almost all US news stations are controlled on the top by the same group of people. So Trump say, those are fake news. And does that mean the other stations are not? Does everybody see a logic trick behind this? You sacrifice a few stations by exposing them as the bad guys in the team. Why the whole team is bad? Because it's the same team. By exposing few as the major bad guys, you restore the trust into other, those non-fake news. I know this sounds like another conspiracy theory, but it does not matter. Facts do. And the fact is that Trump already showed his true face, his allegiance. I mean this Shariat missile strike in 2017, which Trump ordered because of a chemical attack by Syrian government on the Syrian civilians. How can any familiar person with this subject believe in this nonsense? Or current policy of USA toward Israel, And situation in the Middle East. Things didn't change. It's just continuation. Trump cannot be trusted. Yes, he's still better than crazy Hillary, but he's definitely not our guy. For more information about Trump, I advise everyone to check Johnny Gat channel. He's one of my favorites. He's making really amazing videos, exposing people for who they are, who they serve to. I'm really just trying to fulfill my duty as an aware and responsible person, with a deep understanding of the world and situation around. I want a future for people I love, for my country, future for entire continent. We are neighbors after all. Future for my own family, which I want to create with my beloved one. And if I will have a child or few, I want them to be raised in our country, which still will be in our country, with the values which I've been raised with culture from my childhood, visible everywhere on every street, with peaceful streets, kind, friendly people. I want to secure a future for our children in this world, because they are the future. We're just allowing few bad people to ruin this world for them. It's up to us how we will shape this future for them. If we continue doing nothing, allowing them to rule over us, and continue toying with us, they will completely destroy Europe and America. They will probably destroy most of this world. The future will be a chaos, a civil war most likely, or a world war. People will struggle to survive. We, countries of Europe and North America, we are all on the same boat. What will happen with us here will affect North America with time in very similar way. We are sinking. On one part of the boat, of the ship, is visible more than other, but at the end, we will all end up at the bottom. The entire crew does not matter if you're rich or poor. It does not matter how well you prepared. What class of passenger are you? When ship will sink, sooner or later, someone will drag you down, or you will die alone in your rescue lifeboat. Well, you may abandon Europe before truly bad things will start happening on our streets, but there will be nothing to return back to anymore. After the situation will stabilize, Europe might be not European anymore, if you understand my meaning. We still have a chance to defend what our ancestors been shaping here in Europe for the last 1000 years. But we must act now. We're really running out of time. There is one very scary thing which makes me doubt the success of my plan. My plan is about waking people up, at least enough to gain us enough support to succeed with the rest of the objectives. Notice the pictures in the background. It's from the interview with Yuri Bezmenov, which took place in 1980s. He predicted everything. According to him, it's not possible to wake up some people. I will link those videos in the description below. If you agree with me so far, with what I said, please watch part 3 of my video right here.